Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Diego knows I am Diego, and of course it's time for some more Sex in the City, right? Yes, let's go into the lives of these promiscuous women, these ladies of the night, these vixens, these succubuses. They like to go out there and get boned. Yeah, and then brag about it, right? Like that's a virtue or something. Shit, yeah. I mean, if it was a guy, if guys were doing it, that'd be a virtue. That'd be something I want to see, but we ain't gonna see that shit, right? Not on this show, anyway. Anyway, I'm Diego. Welcome to my channel. I have watched every single episode of Sex and the City. I started watching it back when the show first came out, like some 20-something years ago, and I've been watching it ever since. I watched that piece of shit show and Just Like Crap. Do not watch it, please. It's a piece of shit. It's nothing like Sex and the City. Sex and the City was good, and Just Like Crap was just like crap. All right, but I already reviewed that show. If you want to watch it, yeah, I've already got the reviews already on here. But we're not talking about that show. We're talking about the original Sex and the City, which came out in 1998, based on Candace Bushel's book, Sex and the City. Like I said, I'm a big fan. I love the show when it first came out. I thought it was interesting to see dating from a woman's point of view. You know, I was a young man back then. I was just out of the Marines. I lived in a big state. I lived in Chicago, Illinois. Had lots of friends. We went to lots of parties, lots of nightclubs. We did all that stuff. I was in acting, modeling. I worked with a lot of aspiring actresses and aspiring models and stuff. And we just had a good time. Like we were in our 20s. I was going to school full time, and I was working at night. So I worked at nightclubs, bars, taverns, pubs, concerts. I mean, you name it. We did it, okay? So that's what you do when you're 20s. You have fun, And that's what we did, I went out and I dated a lot. I was actively dating at the same time the show was on the air. Okay, only I was a good 15 years younger, 10, 15 years younger than the women on the show. That's the only difference. Otherwise, I was doing the same shit they were doing, But I thought it was interesting to see it from a girl's point of view. None of my straight friends were watching this show. That's what I thought was so weird. None of my straight guy friends were watching this show. Okay, maybe they watched a couple episodes with their girlfriend or something, but they couldn't tell you who Big was or who Steve was or the name of Charlotte's husband. They couldn't tell you any of that shit. All right, I watched every episode. Okay, I was a big fan. I watched it every Sunday, and then the next day at work, we would all talk about it. And I always had something to talk about because I was there from the very beginning. I was watching every episode, all right? So I used it as a way to get to talk to all the hot girls that I knew because every hot girl I knew was watching this show, okay? So this was my way of those girls to be able to talk to me instead of talking to a gay guy because gay guys are watching the show too, okay? But I was the only straight guy that was like watching the show consistently. Okay, so I was a big fan. I liked it a lot. I thought it was bullshit. I still think it's bullshit, but it was fun. It was entertaining. That's the point of the show. Who cares if it's factually accurate or not? Who gives a fuck, right? It's all about fucking dating, right? All the prats and pitfalls of dating, right? So anyway, so I like the show a lot. My biggest problem with the show, the reason I call it bullshit is because I did not like the way that the straight men were being portrayed on the show. They were not realistic to me at all. They did not act like real guys that I knew. Okay, a lot of my friends were straight guys, and they did not act like the guys on the show did. So I thought that was bullshit. Okay, and that's the only problem I have with the show because the show was written by gay guys, lesbians, and feminists. Okay, so who's the butt of every joke? The straight guy. The straight guy was the butt of every joke. They don't understand what a straight guy is. These are caricatures of straight guys. These are cartoon characters. These are not real three-dimensional men, straight men. Okay, they're not at all. Okay, so that's why I'm doing this right now. Okay, so all you ladies that are big fans of Sex and the City, I'm here to separate the fact from the bullshit from a straight man's point of view. Okay, I do not censor myself here. If you're easily offended, if you're easily triggered, get the fuck out right now. Okay, I will not censor myself. I'm going to tell you the truth, whether you like it or not. I'm going to tell you what your dad didn't tell you. I'm going to tell you what your boyfriend didn't tell you. I'm going to tell you what your husband didn't tell you. Okay? I'm going to tell you the honest to God truth. And guys, if you're watching this, don't watch it with her. Don't watch it with her because she's going to fucking make you pause it and be like, what the fuck's he talking about? Okay? And then you have to come up with some bullshit. So no, don't watch it with her. Watch it separately. Ladies, don't watch it with him either. Okay? I'm giving you information. All right? Information into the male psyche, the straight man psyche. Okay? I'm not your fucking gay best friend. I ain't gonna go fucking shopping with you. I don't know what the fuck you're eating, okay? I don't care, okay? I don't know shit about fashion. All I know is that if it looks fucking hot, I'm gonna say something. If it looks fucking stupid as fuck, I'm gonna say something. That's it. Otherwise, I don't give a shit what they're wearing, their shoes, where they bought them at, how much they cost, or who's wearing. I don't give a fuck, all right? I'm a straight guy. I'm gonna give you this from a straight man's point of view. So if you're here, if you're watching this to find out, where you can get that same fucking, Robert Montgomery dress from Barney's. I don't fucking know, okay? I don't even know what the fuck Robert Montgomery is. I just fucking made that up. You see what I mean? I never been to fucking Fredericks of Hollywood. I never done any of that shit, okay? So I'm not here to give you that stuff, okay? You use your gay friends for that shit, all right? Not me. Not me. I'm here to tell you about the relationships and the dating and the sex from a straight man's point of view. And let's see if you can handle it. I don't think you can, but we'll see, right? Okay, now, give you a forewarning here. Before we do this review, I knew it was coming, and it's time. It's time. This is the one where we start to get into this, okay? Like I said, my biggest gripe on the show is, like I said, is the way they portrayed the straight guys. However, I have not watched these episodes in a very long time. I've been rewatching them recently. Once I watch an episode, I review it and I post it on YouTube like I'm doing right now, okay? I do not jump forward, okay? So I have not seen the next episode in maybe 20-something years, okay? But I'm going to watch it again and then I'm going to review it, okay? So I don't know what's going to happen in the next episode, but I do remember from when I originally watched the show, I watched this episode, 20 years ago. I watched it in August of 2002 is when this episode aired. I watched it and I remember the character that we're going to be introduced to today. And I watched all the episodes with him in it. And I got on, what I remember about this guy, okay, I'm going to Burger. It's Burger, all right? What I remember about Jack Burger, Ron Livingston's character, he's a great actor, by the way. I love his acting. He's been in a lot of shit. He's a guy's guy, okay? He acts like a guy, all right? I remember that he was very realistically portrayed. I do remember that very well. I remember being able to relate to this character. I remember seeing the way he acted with women and the stuff that he did was stuff that I would do. And I just remember how scary it was to be like, oh my God, he's like that's exactly what I would have said. That's exactly what I would have done. I remember that very well. And like I said, the biggest problem I had with the show was not being able to relate to the guys on the show. But I remember his character, Jack Burger's character, I remember relating to him very well. Very well. And yeah, I know. Yeah, we know where this is going. Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna jump to the post-it note. Okay, we ain't going there yet. We'll go there later. When we get to that episode, then we'll go there. Okay, don't start judging me now. Okay, I'll give you my opinions on that when we get there. Okay, we ain't there yet. All right, yeah. So I remember that very well, and this is the episode where we meet him. Okay, so to start off with this episode, Sex and the City is season 5. Season 5, episode 5. Okay, now this season only had 8 episodes in it. Okay. This was the season after September 11th, all right? Like, after that stuff had already happened, this is the season that came out next, all right? So, the name of this episode is called Plus One is the Loneliest Number. Plus One is the Loneliest Number, season 5, episode 5. Okay, so it starts off with, you've got Anthony, that's Charlotte's gay best friend, Samantha. They're planning a party for Carrie. She's got a book release party, okay? Her first book ever is getting published. Okay, and the publisher is throwing a party for her. So she's inviting all these people to come to this big event to celebrate her new book that's coming out. Okay, I guess this is like standard practice in the publishing industry. New York obviously is the publishing capital of the United States, of the world, really. Most books in America are published from New York. That's where all the publishing companies are. So it makes sense, all right? So Carrie's for her book release party, okay, and the theme they're going with is pink, and they're working on the guest list and all this other kind of shit. Anthony's in charge of decorating everything, ordering the food. What's everything going to look like? It's going to look pink, blah, blah, blah. And so Samantha. They're working together to plan this big party for Carrie's book release party. Okay. Meanwhile, Miranda is back at work. She's not on her maternity leave anymore. She's back to work, and she gets a phone call from Walker. Now, if you remember last season, Walker was the last guy she fucked, okay, while she was pregnant, okay? Because she didn't start showing yet, but she was like maybe 3 months pregnant, and even though she was already a fat ass before she fucked him, she knew that, like, she was going to start showing real soon, so she wanted to get laid first before her bump was really obvious, before it'd be obvious that she was pregnant. So she fucked Walker without telling him that she had a bun in the oven, of course, because that's what women do all the fucking time, right? What's he gonna do? Get her pregnant? No, she already got a baby in there. All right. So yeah, so I remember that episode very well. She fucked him, and I don't think she told him. Because I watched the episode a few weeks ago. I don't think she told him that she was pregnant. I think she just fucked him, and without him knowing. Then he went off on a business trip, and now he's back in town again. Okay, and he wants to fuck her again. So now she's like, oh shit, I had it. While he was gone, I had a baby. Okay, so like he didn't know I was pregnant, because if you do the math, like that means that he fucked her when she was pregnant. So so she doesn't know whether to tell him or not, all right? But she had a baby, all right? And he doesn't know that, okay? Now, I don't remember what Walker does for a living, but I know he's some rich guy. He's got his professional fucking job, one of those fucking, super wealthy guys that are always hitting on these girls here, because that would happen in real life, yeah. The super good looking, wealthy, well-educated, Ivy League educated, like 6 or more figures per year. Those guys are always hitting on the middle-aged women, right? Not the young, hot girls. Okay, that's very realistic. All right. Hey, straight man's point of view. All right, so that's going on here. Okay, and he wants to see her again. She invites him to Carrie's party, for her book party, because Magda, that's her Ukrainian housekeeper is going to babysit her kid, little baby Brady, who's an infant at this time. Okay. Meanwhile, Charlotte comes home from a date with some new guy named Justin Anderson. I don't know what the fuck he does, but he's another rich, fucking super good looking guy, because obviously these are the only guys that hit on the girls on this show, right? Like no average looking guy ever really hits on them, right? No. I mean, it happens every once in a while, but they're played for jokes. Okay, so anyway, they're making out, and I guess this old lady, this neighbor, Mrs. Collier, notices them making out in the hallway, and she's offended by it, and she's rude about it, because she's, rich fucking bitch. Okay, but it's a lunch date, so he's got to go back to work, so Charlotte goes back inside, all right, into her apartment. Later on, we find out that Mrs. Collier is actually a tattletale, all right. Meanwhile, Carrie meets with her publishers. She's got 2 publishers, Amy Sedaris from Strangers with Candy, and now she's in The Mandalorian, and Molly Shannon. Molly Shannon's not in this episode, though. But you know Molly Shannon is, she played Mary Catherine Gallagher from Saturday Night Live, superstar. She was that Catholic schoolgirl with the skirt that was way the fuck up here. Yeah, her, Anyway, so so Amy Sedaris there as her publisher, and she's talking to Carrie. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Okay, and they're talking about the party. Okay, she says that GQ is going to be there. Like representatives from GQ are going to be at Carrie's party. And the publisher, I forgot her name, but she's Amy Sedaris' character. She's very excited because that means there's going to be straight guys there. Oh, she might get laid. Oh. Yeah, who else will fuck you? Hey, and that is true. GQ, I read GQ, okay? Okay? But I quit reading it. You know why? Because, there was a lot of good stuff in there. The clothes were, but a lot of the shit these male models were wearing in GQ, you would never wear in real life. Like, are you gonna wear a fucking green cape anywhere? But the models are selling capes for like fucking $5,000. Where the fuck would I ever wear that? That's the shit that was in GQ. And I was like, what the fuck am I ever gonna wear this? What event would I ever have to wear fucking pants that look like that? It looks good on the model. It looks awesome. But man, can you imagine me going to a date wearing some fucking striped fucking gold pants? No. Where the fuck would I wear that to? My grandma's house? No. Would I wear that to fucking when I'm hanging out with the guys? No. Would I wear that to a concert? No. So it's like, GQ was there, but it wasn't there, so. I just read the articles and I got bored looking at the fucking fashion and smelling the magazine for the colognes, fuck that, But yeah, I did read GQ for a while. Okay, well, they're going to be there, and that's a straight man's magazine. It's like Cosmo for men, but it's really not. It was never Cosmo for men. Okay, you know what Cosmo for men was? Maxim. Maxim, that was Cosmo for men, all right? But even that was bullshit, man. They'd get articles on how to fucking make the girl you like think you're an FBI agent so she'll fuck you. There's just stuff like that, just bullshit. Anyway, and Cosmo's a lot worse than that, let me tell you. All right, so anyway, so she's there, and she's talking to her publisher, okay? And then all of a sudden, Jack Berger comes in. I guess he's got the same publisher that Carrie has. Jack Berger, obviously played by Ron Livingston. He's been in a lot of stuff. He was in Band of Brothers. He actually started off with Miramax. Yeah, Harvey Weinstein's company. Yeah, Harvey Weinstein. They did a movie called Swingers, which is basically Sex and the City for men. Came out in the late 90s. It's just a movie, though, not a TV show. That's what we had. Vince Vaughn was in that. Jon Favreau, I'm sure you know who Jon Favreau is. He directed the Iron Man movies. He's part of the MCU. He plays Happy Hogan in Iron Man and the Spider-Man movies. He wrote and starred and produced this movie called Swingers in the late 90s from Miramax. He did not direct it, though, but he did write it. And he played the main character, and Vince Vaughn was his best friend, okay? And Ron Livingston was one of the characters in that movie. It's a great movie. If you've never seen it, you got to go see it. Fucking Heather Graham is in the movie. That was the movie she did before she did Boogie Nights. Brittany Monahan, yes, Natasha, Big's wife Natasha, she's in the movie too. Okay, it's a great fucking movie. It's about dating from a straight guy's point of view. Okay, Vince Vaughn was excellent in that movie, But anyway, Jon Favreau, very very well known director. Even now, he's basically in charge of the fucking Star Wars right now. He controls the Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, that piece of shit Obi-Wan show on Disney Plus right now. He's in charge of all that shit. Okay, he created Baby Yoda. So that should tell you something, all right? Yes, Jon Favreau. Okay, but anyway, so Ron Livingston is part of that crowd. Okay, he was in Band of Brothers. Recently, he was in the Conjuring movie, the first Conjuring movie. And he's done a lot of stuff. Okay, he's done a whole bunch of stuff. He's a great actor, though. I like him a lot. He usually just plays like an ordinary average guy, but he's really cool. He's like a down to earth kind of guy, and I like that about him because I'm kind of that way myself. So he goes in there. Now, one thing about Jack Berger's character that I really like. That makes him different from everybody else is Jack Berger is all about depreciating humor. Okay, it's a type of technique that some stand-up comedians do. Probably the most famous one is Rodney Dangerfield. He was my favorite comedian. He was always making fun of himself. He was always putting himself down and making it fun. I get no respect. That kind of guy. Another real good one was Gary Shandling. Okay, Gary Shandling was a master of self-depreciating humor, okay? He would go up on stage and just make jokes about how his life sucks and how he's a loser, how he can't get laid, how he's always broke, how his family doesn't like him, how girls aren't attracted to him. That's what he would do all the time, and he's hilarious. And that's what Jack Berger does. He's always putting himself down, but in a fun way. You can tell that he doesn't really mean it, but he is a little, he does think about it, okay? So I thought it's very fun. It's very offsetting, like if a woman is afraid of this guy for whatever reason, he starts making jokes about how he's a loser, and you get more comfortable with him, okay? And that's what he does. That's what I like about Jack Berger's personality, because I do that too. I talk about how my life fucking sucks every once in a while, So yeah, it's fun. It's fun. It's very, I know guys like this. I'm like this, okay? And he does that a lot, okay? So his introduction to Carrie, when he walks in the office, he has the office and he's like, he wrote he's like, what? She's like, oh, you're an author? What did you write? What was the last book you wrote? What was the name of it? It's called Half Off. That's what it's called now. So he's funny and he's witty like Carrie is, He's like, but thanks to, there's no market for that, for the stuff that I write right now. So I'm basically not selling anything, which I thought was funny, So they go to a park bench together, and she's sipping McDonald's. Yeah, she got McDonald's. Carrie is drinking a McDonald's shake, and Berger is just looking at the birds, at the pigeons, and making fun of them, and. So they're sitting there, and Jack's like, I'm not really bitter. I'm just trying it on for size. She's like, how does it fit? He's like, oh, it's a little tight in the crotch. She's like, what? How could you say crotch to me? You don't even know me. You just met me. He's like, well, if I'd said it was tight in the sleeve, would it have sounded good? No. Okay, that's why I said crotch. So, because he's a writer too, like her. So he has to come up with these witty sayings, these synonyms, metaphors, analogies. He's got to come up with all that stuff himself. Yeah, so in a lot of ways, he's very similar to Carrie. The quips, the funny little puns, the one-liners, yeah, he does that too. So that's what they have in common. I think that's what's causing Carrie to feel attracted to him. Here's a guy who's witty like she is. Let's face it, she loves her girlfriends, but they're not witty like she is, okay? She's the one that makes all the quips, all the funny lines is Carrie. Now here's a guy doing the same thing, so she can relate to him. And I get that about her. I think that's where her spark is coming from. She doesn't know where the spark is coming from, but I can tell it's coming from this. Okay, so she's starting to feel very attracted to him. And Jack's like, so how's that McDonald's strawberry shake you're drinking? But who orders a strawberry after the age of 11? Well, she's. So that was pretty good. So it says you have and she's like, you have much to learn about women. And Jack said, well, that's exactly what my book reviewer said. So he stands up and offers his hand to her. Like a very gentleman move. Like that's something my mom taught me to do that. I do that too, And he's like, yeah, you want to come with me to go pick up my dry cleaning? She's like, so he makes little jokes about it too. I thought that was kind of funny. It was very cute, So they're walking down through the park, and he finds a playing card. Okay, he finds a card on the floor, a playing card. It's a two of hearts. Ooh. And he picks it up and puts it in his pocket. And he's like, oh, I collect these. He's like, someday I'm gonna have a full deck. Insert obvious joke here. So he's funny. Like, he's legit funny. I like that about him. He's very off-putting. He's like, yeah, I keep finding these on the floor, and I save them, and eventually, I'll have a full deck. Insert the obvious joke right now, So he's like, and it's the two of hearts. He's like, hey, look, two of hearts. It's gonna be a good day, So it's like very charming, and I like that because the way he says, like, hey, look, two of hearts. It's gonna be a good day. Like that. And Carrie's like totally picking up on this flirtation here. Okay, so Carrie's like, hey, Burger, I'm having my book party. I kind of need a date for it. Do you want to be my plus one? He's like, I'd love to, but my girlfriend's parents are coming in from out of town. They're going to be staying with us. And she's like, okay. Sorry. All right. Wow. Okay. Well, I just thought I'd ask, So that ends the conversation real quick, all right? And hey, you know what? And now Carrie starts bitching to her girlfriend. Hey, you know what, bitches? Sorry, ladies. You do this to us too, all the fucking time. I give you, excuse me, miss, do you know where? I have a boyfriend. I was just asking you where the fucking store was. I don't give a shit that you have a boyfriend. God damn. You're not that pretty. That kind of, you girls do this to us all the fucking time. So I don't understand why Carrie's upset, okay? This is a shit that women do to men more often than men do to women, all right? That's what I think. Anyway, so she complains to her girlfriend. Oh my God! I have a girlfriend. We live together. This flirtation is all in my head. Okay, Samantha's like, I hate it when men do that. They always do that. I have a girlfriend. Like, Jesus Christ, I just asked you if the seat was taken. This always happens to them all the time. What's up with men always doing this? Fuck you, Samantha. Fuck you, okay? Fuck you. Women do this more than men, and that's the fucking truth, all right? So that's going on here. So Charlotte says, like, he's a jerk. And Carrie's like, I don't think so. I don't think he's a jerk. I sparked with him, and I never spark with a guy. He's witty like I am, and I wonder, I'm starting to wonder how happy he is in his relationship. What's wrong with me? Well, there's a lot wrong with you, Carrie, and I ain't going to get into it here. Okay. But yeah, I think you spark with him. I think he's more attractive to you now because he already has somebody. That's the thing. Okay. Guys with girlfriends are infinitely more attractive to women than guys that are alone. Okay. They don't have anybody. Okay. You can call all the bullshit you want. It's not true. Okay. Women judge men. One of the categories that women judge men is how other women feel about this guy. And if other women like this guy, that means that she's got some competition. That makes him more valuable. Okay? This guy don't have a girlfriend or nothing. He's not that valuable. Okay? Subconsciously, you're thinking, oh, women don't want him. I wonder why. I'm going to stay away from him too. But if he's got a girlfriend, oh, well, somebody fucking likes him. I wonder why. Maybe I got to get to know him better. You see what I mean? That's how it fucking works. Okay? And you fucking know it's true. So don't give me any of that bullshit. All right. So Charlotte's like, this is the universe telling you that there's somebody out there for you. And Miranda is like, no, it's telling you that that all good men are taken. Like, how would you fucking know? No good man would ever date you, Miranda. All right. So Samantha's like, I'll be your plus one. There'll be lots of hot guys at the party. And Miranda's like, well, you know what? That guy Walker's back in town. And I never told him that I was pregnant. And, and I had a baby. And they're like, well, why didn't you tell him? Well, because he didn't ask. Like, okay, oh my God. Yeah, you know goddamn well why you didn't tell him, Miranda. Because goddamn well he wanted nothing to fucking do with you if you told him he had a baby. All right, now get the fuck out of here with that bullshit, all right? Now, Carrie actually does not remember what Burger looks like. And for her, that's a sign that she really likes the guy because like she feels so good with him that she forgot what he looked like, it's her spark. Okay, so anyway, she's walking around New York wearing a fucking see-through apron and a fucking bandana around her head, okay? And she's like, every girl in New York is looking for, three things: a job, a boyfriend, and an apartment, So 2 out of 3, okay? If you get 2 out of 3, why does that one that you don't have affect the other 2? So the thesis episode is, why does a plus one, why does a 1 minus a plus 1 add up to 0? Whatever the fuck that means. Okay, so Samantha goes to her Botox appointment. She's got to go see her doctor for her Botox, and he sells her a fucking chemical peel, so she decides to do it, all right? So when she looks at herself in the mirror after the chemical peel, because she's very vain, she's probably like 46 now, and she wants to get rid of the wrinkle lines on her face, so she does the chemical peel, and now her face is all red and fucking burnt. It looks like it's all scratched off. Looks nasty as fuck. So now she's like, ah! You know, and she still got to go to the fucking party looking like that. And makeup ain't gonna cover this, all right? So she's basically a Phantom of the Opera now. Okay, she even scares some kids when she's walking down the streets. Them kids are afraid of her and they scream. Okay, meanwhile, Carrie's at a restaurant and she sees her editor, Candice Bergen. Yes, the Candice Bergen's character. She's one of the editors at Vogue, and that is her editor at Vogue because the guy editor tried to fuck her. So rather than do a sexual harassment claim, which she should have done, she decided to just work with Candice Bergen's character. Her name is Enid. Okay, Enid. She's an editor at Vogue. Older one, obviously, you know who she is. Murphy Brown, that TV show Murphy Brown. That's her. Okay, her dad fucking was famous for doing a fucking puppet show. He did a fucking a ventriloquist show with a fucking wooden doll. You know what they're called. Anyway, she's there. She's eating alone too, just like Carrie is. So Carrie pretends not to see her. You know, she hides her face in the magazine, but Enid notices her, so they end up having lunch together. They don't they're not really close. Okay, they're not really friends. So they have really nothing to talk about. They make small talk and nothing happens. They're both just minding their own business. So Carrie's trying to break the ice with her because, like I said, this woman is her boss. It's her editor at Vogue because Carrie does write for Vogue, freelance work for Vogue. Okay, and they both eat alone, like I said. They talk together. They have an awkward conversation. She asks her, "So, are you from this area here?" He's like, "No, I'm not. But my man is." "Oh, you have a man. You know what? That is so great for you. You know, you have a wildly successful career and a relationship. I was worried that women only get one or the other, but you have it all." You know? And then there's like an awkward silence. And he's like, "I do have it all on the east side. And he has someone else on the west side." So luckily, the park provides a buffer. It's talking about Central Park. Okay, I'm okay with it. I don't have time for a full-time man. I already have a full-time job. Wow. Spoken just like a boss bitch that's fucking horny. You know? That's the key. Stop expecting it to look like you thought it would. That's true of fashion and relationships. So no wonder she's an unhappy fucking bitch. All right. Meanwhile, Charlotte and Justin, the guy that she was making out with in the hallway, they go back to her place to fuck, and they do fuck. We see Charlotte's titty, but that's it. And they do fuck. He spends the night. The next day, there's knocking at the door. She thinks it's something that she ordered, but it ends up being Bunny McDougal. Yes, her mother-in-law, because she ain't divorced. She's in the process of divorcing. She's in the process of divorcing her husband, but she hasn't divorced him yet. Okay, so this is Bunny McDougal. This is her mother-in-law. Okay, and she actually owns the apartment that Charlotte. Now, her husband gave her the apartment when they broke up. So she's basically been living there for free because they own it, right? But actually, Bunny McDougal shows up, her mother-in-law, and she's like, "This is not your apartment. I heard you've been bringing in men in here. You've been making out with them in the hallway? And you brought a man last night who still has not left yet. I'm guessing he's in the other room right now. This is not your apartment. This is my place. Your son left it for me." "No, it's not his to give. It belongs to the McDougal family. The McDougal name, a name which you no longer have." You know, so yeah, she's fucking being the boss bitch that she is, you know. And of course, Justin hears all this. He's like, he didn't know that she was still married. He's like, "You're married?" No, I'm in the process of getting divorced, you know. So anyway, turns out all the neighbors have been reporting to Bunny McDougal about what Charlotte's been doing. Okay, this is the first time Charlotte's gotten laid since her and her husband broke up. So so the neighbors have had nothing to report to Bunny yet until now. Okay, so Charlotte has to take Charlotte has to end up taking Anthony because now Justin wants nothing to do with her. So she's gonna have to take her gay friend Anthony, who I like a lot. That's gonna be her +1 to the party. All right. So Stanford tells Carrie, she calls Carrie, that he's bringing his boyfriend to the party. Okay, and Stanford says like, I don't want to seem like a nobody now that I have a somebody, because you're nobody until somebody loves you. And now Carrie, of course, being lonely and having no boyfriend, she's like, I used to like that song. I don't like it anymore, And Carrie's like, you know what? I'm jealous of you, Stanford. You're supposed to be my plus one. Gay guys are always a girl's safety net, which is true, yeah. You always see straight girls hanging out with gay guys. You never see straight guys hanging out with lesbians. Never. You know why? Because they're in competition with us. Because they wish they could pull the kind of girls that we pull. That's the honest God truth, honestly. Because it doesn't matter whether you like girls, whether you don't like girls. It doesn't matter. There's more women that like men than there is women that like women. Okay? And that pisses off lesbians. Yeah, that's why they don't like us. That's why they don't like guys. Okay? You want to talk about the real penis envy? Yeah, that's it right there. Okay. Now I'm talking about the lipstick lesbians. Okay, now I'm talking about the bisexual girl. There's no fucking such thing as bi, okay? Every bisexual woman ends up with a guy. All right? In the end, they end up with bisexual is something you do in your fucking 20s, okay? I never met a 65-year-old bisexual woman, okay? So anyway, so that's going on here, and Carrie tells him, that Charlotte is gonna bring her plus one, her gay friend, is gonna be her plus one, because he styled the event. Now, if you remember, there was an old episode last season where Charlotte tried to fix up Anthony with Stanford because they're both gay, and Anthony just not attracted to him at all. Remember that? Ed Harris, more like Ed has no hair ass. Remember that? Okay. So Anthony is not attracted to Stanford at all. Okay, and Stanford's still kind of pissed off about it. So he's like, and he's got a very good-looking boyfriend. So he wants to like rub that in Anthony's face. So you rejected me, huh? Well, look how hot my guy is. He's hotter than you. That kind of fucking bullshit high school shit, okay? So Stanford's like, oh, Anthony, you mean Charlotte's boy bitch is going to be there? He's coming good. He's bringing a girl. I'm the one that has it all. This fucking gay shit. Get the fuck out of here with it. I mean, I like Stanford, but I like Anthony more. He's funnier. Okay, Samantha calls and tells Carrie that her face is fucked up, okay? And Carrie's like, no. Carrie's not seen her face. So Carrie's like, no, you're supposed to be my plus one, you better go. So she's like, okay, fine, I'll go. So Samantha agrees to go. All right. Carrie has her party. The party is better than the book. That's what the publisher says. This party's better than the book. Okay. And so the publisher, Amy Sedaris' character, I don't remember her fucking name. She's like, oh my God, look at all these hot guys here. Ah! So she walks away. So Carrie's there. Samantha arrives wearing a black veil. Like she's going to a fucking funeral, like she's going to her husband's funeral, so nobody can see her face. Carrie's trying to talk to some guy from the New Yorker, okay, and then Samantha shows up, and Carrie's like, Samantha, what's going on here with this veil? We can't see your face. Lift up your veil. We can't see your face. So finally, Samantha opens up her veil. You can see all the fucking red marks all over her fucking face, and she looks really bad, okay? And now fucking Carrie's embarrassed. Carrie's like, oh my God, what did you do? You look like a friggin' beef carpaccio. Your face looks like beef carpaccio. So she's like, so Carrie tells Samantha to cover her fucking face. Yeah, Carrie tells Samantha, cover your fucking face. She didn't say fucking, but she tells her to cover her face. So Samantha decides not to. She's like, no, I shouldn't have to hide my chemical peel. I had a chemical peel. Everybody, look, I had a chemical peel. I should have to hide it just because society demands it. No, because you're fucking gross, okay? You shouldn't have even gone to the fucking party. You should have told fucking Carrie on the phone, hey, listen, I had a chemical peel. My face looks like shit. I don't want to embarrass you at your fucking party, so I'm not going to go. Okay, that's what you should have done. Okay, but no, instead you decide to fucking surprise everybody with your fucking rubbed raw fucking face. Okay, embarrassing your friend at her fucking book party. Oh well. And Carrie, what a fucking bitch, man. She showed up for you. And you fucking treat her like shit. Come on. Stanford, you can tell there's some real drama going on here between Kim Cattrall and fucking Sarah Jessica Parker. I can tell. I can feel it. Okay, so Stanford's boyfriend says that, hey, he looks at Samantha's face. He's like, hey, when I had my nose job, I stayed indoors for a whole month, And Stanford decides, he sees Anthony up there talking to Charlotte, so he decides to go over there. Charlotte and Anthony are talking, and they're talking about fucking that guy Justin leaving her, and she tells Anthony, well, I was going to tell him that I was married. And Anthony says, like, you know what, he's eating shrimp like crazy. And she's like, I was going to tell him I was married eventually. And he's like, you can wrap it up in a Tiffany's bow all you want. The point is, you wanted to get fucking laid first. Okay, so Stanford arrives there. He shows off his boyfriend. Hi, what's your name again? He's like, I'm Anthony. Oh yeah, I remember you, Olivia. Did you try to fix me up with him? Hey, it's my boyfriend. Look how hot he is. And Anthony's like, how long y'all been together? He's like, oh, like 4 months. He's like, okay, good, bye. He's like, we're getting a place in the Hamptons. And, and Anthony's walking. He's like, he's got a big dick. So Charlotte's like, so we're in the Hamptons. It was funny. I thought it was funny. Okay. So Miranda and Walker are making out at the party. She tells him, hey, I got a baby now. I didn't tell you before, And he's like, I don't do good with kids. She's like, well, neither do I. No, you don't, Miranda. You're a bitchy fucking piece of shit mom. Okay. But I'm still allowed to have sex. So that's okay, It was just, he's like, what about the dad? He's like, oh, he's just a friend of mine. I accidentally fucked him once, and I had a baby, But he's not in the picture. Don't worry about him, He's just a friend that I accidentally had sex with. Like, she does that. That's the way she talks about the fucking father of her fucking kid. Better to say nothing than to fucking be a bitch. Okay, you had a kid with this guy. Jesus Christ, how do you think this makes you look? What do you think a normal straight guy would think about you, Miranda, when you say that shit about the guy that impregnated you, that you had a fucking kid with? Okay? This would turn off a guy. You want to talk about fucking making a guy's dick get fucking soft real fast? This'll do it right away. So I don't understand why this guy would fuck her. First of all, she lied to him about being pregnant the last time they fucked, and she's had a baby. You've just entered the single mom zone. Dude, you're like a good-looking, rich fucking guy. Okay? Why do you want to jump into the single mom zone? What the fuck is it in there for you? Nothing. And she's a fucking fat ass to boot, and she's a bitch. How is this a win? It's not. I would have fucking left her right there on the fucking spot. But of course, that you can't have a show with that. So she leaves with him, and they end up fucking. And while they're fucking, he keeps his clothes on. His shirt is down to his waist. His pants are still buckled. They're still on. His tie, he's wearing a tie with no fucking shirt. How the fuck does that work? Nobody fucks this way. Nobody ever fucks this way. And he's fucking her with his pants on. They're not even, the belt's not even undone. Nobody fucks this way. Anyway, they're fucking. She's trying to come. The baby starts crying. She's like, oh, I'm coming. The baby keeps crying. So she's like, fuck it. And so she stops. And he doesn't want to do it anymore. He's not comfortable fucking her when there's a baby in the next room crying. And she's like, well, before you leave, can I at least come first? Yeah, priorities. Always priorities. Good for you, Miranda. Anyway, he fucking leaves. So she goes to her baby, and the baby stops crying when she gets there. He's like, oh, so now you stop crying. And she picks up the baby, and she looks at the baby. She's like, I guess it's just you and me. And you can tell that she loves this baby and that she has changed. She's not the same person anymore. She's a mom now, and she's proud to be a mom, and good for her. I finally felt some sympathy for Miranda, okay, because Miranda's been a total fucking piece of shit mom, piece of shit fucking person in general, girlfriend, every which way. And now I'm starting to sympathize with her. I can see that there's a person in there, So, and I'll say this about Cynthia Nixon. As much as I hate Miranda's character, Cynthia Nixon can act. When she wants to act, she can act, and she acted the fuck out of that scene. That look on her face, it reminds me of the way I looked at my baby when he was that age. When I was picking him up, looking at him that way. Like everything just changed. Your life just changed, once you have a baby like that. At least it did for me. Okay, and I think this is the moment. It happened quicker for me. It happened for me in the hospital when he was born. It happens to her when he's a few months old in his crib. Okay, so yeah. So anyway, this is going to end part 1 of this review, and I'll be right back with part 2 of this review. Thank you for watching this long, and see you in a moment.